So Mike, tell me about tour school this year. You got your nationwide tour card. And how did you handle those pressure situations? And I guess for the folks at home, what are the types of things they can be doing at home that relates to what you were able to do this year and getting on the nationwide tour?
Oh, I think, anybody who plays golf has probably felt, some level of nervousness or pressure or adrenaline at some point. I'm no different. We all experience it in our own ways. For me, and what I think the people at home can learn to do, is learn to control the adrenaline, because you're gonna get adrenaline when you're feeling.
So they're on the first tee.
Yeah, you're on
watching,
the first tee.
so
Your club championship. You got 20 of your friends watching, and you've been heckling them all week, and you want to perform.
Right.
Everybody's got a time when they want to perform. So for me, I started to learn to recognize adrenaline as a positive, because.
So I'm on the first tee. I feel the adrenaline. Everyone's watching me. I got to hit a shot here. What am I gonna do? I'm freaking out because I got all this.
Yeah, you're freaking out. I mean, for me, the first time I ever experienced it, I started to notice everything. I noticed every blade of grass. I noticed, the birds chirping. I noticed the people in the background, and you've got to be able to direct that focus. So
that's a pretty normal thing, though, right? Everyone feels that.
Yeah, I think, especially the first time you experience it in a quiet game like golf, you don't know what to do. I mean, that's programmed into us, because we need to be able to run away from something if we're scared. It's not, for a stagnant, focused sport. So I've learned to look at it as a positive, really. And the way I control it, you end up with, if you're human, you end up with some level of fear when you're nervous. You're scared of hitting it, wherever you don't want to hit it. And, it's important for me to decide, all right, I'm going to act as if somebody told me that I cannot hit this shot that I want to hit. Somebody came up to me and said, I'll bet you can't hit a high draw, in the right side of the fairway. Because for me, there's a big difference between somebody telling me I can't do something and me telling myself I can't do something. When somebody else tells me I can't do something, it really, brings up my resolve to actually pull it off. And, just like somebody telling you don't think about pink elephants. If somebody says, I bet you can't hit a high draw, all you're thinking about is a high draw.
Right.
So, that gives me the resolve to go out there and hit it. And it really helps.
How do you practice that type of situation? And for the folks at home and for you when you're not playing in a tournament, how do you practice those types of situations when you're away from the golf course and not in a tournament?
Simply put, there's no perfect substitute for tournament golf other than actually doing it. But to get close, you need to practice like it's a tournament and play a tournament like it's practice. I used to practice, my 8-iron on the driving range. I would hit 50 in a row at whatever flag was out there. And then one day I realized that they don't have that contest on the golf course. There is no, number of 8-irons in a row at some flag on the golf course. So when I practice on the driving range now, majority of my time is devoted to, just making sure that I'm playing like it's a round of golf. There are some pins I don't aim at in a round of golf, so I will practice, making sure I don't miss it left of a pin, and so I will be thinking about hitting it right of a pin.
Right.
I will practice with obstacles out there, and I will actually even play 9 holes on the driving range in my head.
So most of the people at home probably don't have the amount of time to practice. They're not playing professional golf.
Certainly not.
So if they had half an hour, would they practice like they're playing 9 holes, or what's kind of the best thing to use that 30-minute time frame they have to maybe hit a few balls after work or before their round?
Yeah, if it's before your round, you're not going to fix your golf swing before your round. The swing you brought to the course is the swing you've got for that day, so you might as well learn how to play with it. Figure out where the ball's going, spend 10 minutes getting loose, figuring out where it's going, and then play the golf course. Because, while it's boring and not quite as fun to do on the driving range when you first do it, once you get on the golf course, you realize that you have, in fact, been practicing for what you were about to do as opposed to practicing for looking good on the driving range. And that has really helped me over the years.
Okay.